that you have before you relates to providing specific targeted relief to persons on the South 14th Street area of Harrisburg. By way of background, earlier in this year we did conduct a reduction. There was a reduction that was done in the assessed value of properties in that particular area based upon some storms that we had had in 2011, specifically Hurricane Irene and Tropical Storm Lee. An assessed value of property is generally the way in which the county determines how much tax a particular parcel, an improvement of property is going to pay. Each municipality can levy a millage rate. The Board of Assessment Appeals takes that assessed value, and then the millage rates are levied to get your taxes, essentially. What happened earlier in this year is you saw there was about a 54% reduction in the assessed value of particular properties in that affected area along South 14th Street. So in essence, a property that went from an assessed value of about $33,000 was literally cut in half to about $15,000. Now that doesn't affect the millage rates, but it does affect the ultimate outcome on how much tax is going to be collected from that property, because the assessed valuation has been cut literally in half, or a little bit more than in half. So what you would see is that taxes on a parcel assessed at $33,000 in that area would go from about $1,500 a year down to about $800 per year, and that's for county, city, and school district tax. The relief that you have before you that is encompassed in this resolution is to give an exemption to those properties on South 14th Street to the county tax, to the county portion of that tax, which is roughly 20% after that relief, that 54% was provided to those properties. And again, that is the most that the county can do in this particular instance. I mean, we've cut the assessed values in more than in half through the Board of Assessment Appeals, and now we are giving them either by way of refund if they've already paid their taxes for 2014, 2015, or an exemption if they haven't yet paid those taxes. They won't have to pay them. Is there any questions?
To actually have the conversation directly with residents who've been affected by this terrible tragedy through no fault of their own. And there's been a lot of laid plans, but no real direct relief for residents. The idea of fortifying the streets and a plan to fill in the sinkholes, but we've got residents that are paying their mortgage, paying rent, trying to pay property taxes. I mean, for folks that I know, you can't meet the obligation you have, let alone putting your family through such a significant crisis. So in our discussion with the board, we wanted to figure out a way to provide some direct relief from the areas that the county has specific oversight. And that relief has happened in two ways. First way has been through the tax assessment appeal process, where because of the catastrophic loss situation, every one of those properties in the affected area has been reduced by 54% related to their total assessed value. The second area is both county library and county real estate taxes, which represent roughly around 10% of the total real estate tax bill. We today voted a resolution to refund the dollars from 2014 and 2015 that were paid in those county taxes, the full amount back to the residents, which is going to allow them to have money in their pocket, the ability to not have those specific tax obligations moving forward. And our hopes are that both the city and the school district, which represent a significant amount of the real estate taxes, will follow suit. We also provided some direction today that and we heard a discussion about the difference between properties that are uninhabitable or not fit, or condemned or not fit for human habitation. Well, there are a lot of individuals that are living in those properties still, and unfortunately the values of their homes have been significantly devalued as a result of this sinkhole issue. So for those individuals who believe their property values should be at zero, there's also a tax assessment appeal process that begins July 1st. And we've waived the application fee for them to go through the process, and also to make the case that their properties have been basically reduced to a zero market value, which will eliminate for the 2016 year their requirement to pay property taxes to any political entity or subdivision. So